I'm in my basement. It is Tuesday night. I was sitting on the couch, minding my own business, relaxing, when I heard a loud crash come from the basement, which is not the sound you want to hear when you are home alone at night in an old house. Once I got over my shock, I decided that I needed to investigate, and I came down to the basement where I saw that my dryer vent had completely fallen off the wall. Here's the back of the dryer. Here's a piece of ducting, and up here is where the rest of it should be. And here's where it is currently. So I guess I am learning how to fix that. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emily and I am in the process of fixing up my old house. It has been a couple weeks since I've actually filmed anything. As you can maybe tell, I am completely moved in. Since my last video where my dad and I ripped up the carpet, I finished cleaning the house, got all of my stuff packed, moved in, unpacked. I even got the whole house tested for asbestos, which was negative. Dog, I'm good to start renovating. I was really hoping to start on a beautification project this week, like the hot, sexy part of renovation. But I have to actually repair something this week. As I mentioned in my intro clips, my dryer vent did just completely fall out of the wall. I knew it would need repairs pretty soon. The seams on the different joints of the dryer vent were kind of cracking and opening. And then the previous owners had used masking tape on the dryer vent, which is a huge fire hazard from what I've been learning on the internet. So I knew I was gonna have to replace it. I thought I could just kind of do it at my leisure, but the house had other plans. So I've been doing my research. The dirty laundry is piling up and there's no time like the present to get started. I do want to emphasize that this is not a tutorial. I have never done this before. I am just your local village idiot trying to fix up her old house. Please don't take this as instructional. This is more moral support if you too have a dryer vent that falls out of the wall in the night and you need to fix it. I did go to the hardware store last night. I think I have everything I need, but it's kind of inevitable that the fifth step of any home improvement project is to just go back to the hardware store for the things you've forgotten. Here are my supplies. I have an exterior vent cover. This only came in a kit, which was really disappointing and probably more expensive in the end. I've got all my ducts, caulk, and a new caulk gun since I didn't have one of those, clamps, bends, tin snips, screws, foil tape, the correct tape that should be used on dryer vents, and I'm excited for my first fix-it project. An added challenge of this project is that my dryer is in the basement, and so I have to assemble probably, I would estimate 10 to 12 feet of ductwork to get it up and out of the house. Someday I'm gonna move my dryer up to the first floor and I can have a short little dinky dryer duct that just sticks out the side of the house. But for today, 10 to 12 feet, baby. Step one, have to go outside on this snowy day and remove the old vent cover. my general plan is to use the pre-existing ductwork kind of as a template. So cutting all of my new pieces to match, right? Okay, I do want to talk about this kit that I purchased. My hardware store did actually sell covers and pest covers separately like this. However, every YouTube video I looked at, they whipped this out and it already had piping attached to it. Like they purchased this piece from the store with the initial piece of ductwork already sticking out of it. And my hardware store didn't have that. And I could not find anyone on the internet that could explain to me how to properly attach this piece to the first piece of metal ducting. Like metal duct, you tape or clamp it, but this is plastic. And so I wasn't sure if you could use the same strategy. So I was just gonna buy one of these, but then I could not figure out how to attach it to the metal. And no one on the internet seems to have a video on this. At least not that I could find. I literally stood at Home Depot for a half an hour trying to figure out the answer to this question. So I just bought the kit because from what I can tell, the ducting has these little snaps and it'll actually just like snap in, but I couldn't figure out, you know, if I just wanted to buy this piece and this piece separately, how to connect them appropriately. I have all this extra shit in my kit that I don't need, like this flexible, apparently I'm not supposed to use this. The people on the internet are so dramatic. They're like, if you use flexible ductwork, your house will catch fire and you will get pregnant and die. And I'm like, I don't know, but people like use it. People use it and they're fine. So I know it's proper, but like, what can we all actually just get away with? Tin snips, 10 out of 10, easy to cut. Cutting with tin snips in a circle, 2 out of 10, very awkward. I'm gonna need to watch some videos on this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Please, sir, I beg you. Yay! I am having a ton of trouble getting the crimped end of the duct into the non-crimped end of the duct. How many times am I gonna say duct in this video? It's all just like 4 inches. And so like fitting a 4-inch piece into a 4-inch piece is actually really tricky because they're the same size. So I went and looked up some advice, and they said to use the clamps and just tighten the clamp around the crimped end to kind of like squeeze it in a little bit to make it slightly smaller than 4 inches, and then maybe it will fit together better. So I'm gonna try that next. That worked pretty well, for those of you that are wondering. Heading back outside to get this in place, screw it into the house, and caulk it. This is my first time using caulk. I'm a little intimidated. A big part of me is wondering how much wildlife has crawled into the gaping hole in my house in the time it took me to assemble that pipe. The screw holes obviously do not line up with the holes from the old cover, of course. I am gonna let the caulk cure for a little bit before I start like jiggling too much with the rest of the ductwork. And while I wait, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to do a little light cleaning in the basement because it's a little bit of a mess in the laundry room. Let me show you what I mean. All right. Apologies for all of the background noise, by the way. I have been meaning to get a microphone, but I don't know, I'm such a new channel that I haven't quite committed to it yet. So thank you for your patience, but the humidifier is going and it just makes a lot of white noise. I'm working on it. One day I'll get a microphone. So the basement in general is pretty cobwebby. I think it needs to generally just have like everything kind of sucked up. Let me show you my favorite part of this room. Wow. Delicious. Also, in the laundry room specifically, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the previous dryer vent was breaking open in some places. And so it wasn't like really actually doing anything. And I think the dryer was just venting into this room. There is so much dryer lint just coating the walls behind the dryer. You can see all of this. I thought this was mold at first, but no, it's dryer lint. So I'm gonna clean all that up. There's lots on the floor, and I'm just gonna give everything a really good vacuum. Like, look at that. Probably like a proper fire hazard down here. So I'm gonna do my best to rectify that because setting the house on fire is not on my Saturday to-do list, I must say. Also, while I am down here, because you're gonna see it, I do wanna make a note about the walls. So this house has a limestone foundation, and limestone, from what I've been told, what I've researched, it's supposed to be left open to breathe. Like, it's meant to pass a lot more moisture than modern day foundations. And so what can happen, and what has happened here, is someone at some point painted this, and the paint doesn't pass as much moisture as the foundation itself. And so eventually, like you can see, let me do it over here. eventually the paint kind of breaks away and it breaks off that top layer of foundation and it will just crumble. So there's a lot of debris on the floor in here just because the walls are crumbling. My inspector told me that this is not really a structural problem, that this foundation is super thick, that the paint is really just breaking away that top layer. At some point, I should come through and break off as much as I can and try and repair that top layer. But that is a project for the future. It's not a high priority thing that needs to happen right away. But in case you see this, it's not really anything to worry about, but it is pretty unsightly. By light cleaning, I do want to let you know that I was down here vacuuming just this little room for 2 hours. There are a lot of cobwebs down here. I think I got most of them. Obviously, every corner I turn, there's a new cobwebby, dusty spot. I'm seeing some right now that I missed. But I think it feels a lot better down here. Yeah, just trying to keep it clean. I do want to say that in my house tour video, I called this basement creepy. And like, it should be. It's unfinished. There's so many like little nooks and crannies and corners and pipes and stuff. But I actually don't mind being down here. I don't know, the house has good vibes, and that includes the basement. And I don't know, I've just felt very useful here, and that even includes this crusty old basement. I have lunched, and I think it's time to start putting together the rest of my ductwork. And hopefully it all just fits together perfectly, no trouble at all. I am really irritated. I'm so irritated. I don't know if this piece of pipe is defective or what, but I cannot get this to snap together. I'm literally crushing the pipe in order to try and get it to fit together, and it's not going. The other one went together pretty easily, and this one just like isn't. I've been struggling with it for like 45 minutes trying to get this pipe to snap together. I'm really upset. It just feels like it should be easier. Like, I don't know if this is bad piping. I'm tired. I did buy an extra piece, so I'm just gonna like try another one and see if it is also having the same issue. I don't know, everyone online's like, oh, it just snaps together so easy. And I'm like, it's not. I'm literally putting all my weight on it and it's not snapping in. Okay, it was still tough, but I got this one together. I don't want to sound dramatic, but this is like a nightmare. I am hating every second of this. Okay, I've got this attached, and now I think comes the tricky part where I have to attach this to there without losing my mind. I just got to the hardware store after an hour of struggling with two of my pieces of duct. I think I've come to the conclusion that they're just defective. Two of the ducts snapped together pretty easily. Two of them did not. I'm back at the hardware store. Hopefully someone here can get them together or they'll let me exchange them. I did already cut them because you have to cut them to snap them together. So like they're damaged, but I just see no way around that. Who knew? The hardest part of this whole project has just been getting the product to work as intended. It's a little later. They did let me exchange the pipe because it was defective. So sometimes I like to reflect on how much time I've wasted on things that were never going to work out. I did spend about probably an hour wrestling with those two pieces of pipe, and they just like were never going to go together. I got a new one and put it together in 5 minutes. I feel like there's a lesson here somewhere. I've done it. Look. That's a sturdy pipe. I feel like that's not going anywhere for a really long time. Wow. You know, it might not be like a hot, sexy home improvement project, but like, I think that pipe looks a lot hotter and sexier than my old pipe. So I'll take it. It took all day. Closing thoughts. This was actually not that difficult. However, I do think that the ductwork I purchased was maybe not the best. It was very hard to work with. So I think if you had different ducting, it would maybe be easier. I guess, you know, next time my dryer vent falls out of the wall, I'll like try different ductwork and see how that goes. Overall, I'm really happy with the job I did. That's it for me today, everyone. So if you liked this video and you want to see some more home reno content, please click the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States.